going to go to Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. Okay, and I'm just going to point out something here. This is where Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, okay? Wilderness is like us dealing with it, all this stuff in our minds, okay? No. Okay? We're to do it just like him. We're to suffer with him, right? Now, in those 11 verses, it says the devil 4 times in verse 1, verse 5, verse 8, and verse 11. Okay? Let me show you something about that. Now, if it was some monster outside of you, starting off, those words, the devil, would be a noun, a person, place, or a thing, right? It's an adjective. It's describing something. Let's look at this. And it's ha, and then diabolos. Okay? Ha is it's a definite article. It's like the ball of thinking in your mind. Okay? Where's God working in your mind? Jesus was showing us the way, the truth, and the life for us to demonstrate it. It's ongoing. He said it. He delivered us. All right? Okay. We got to follow. Okay? Now, this Jesus' name is Jesus. I-E-S-O-U-S, right? That's where they get Jesus from. That means Yahweh salvation. He's doing the way, the truth, and the life. He's showing us the pattern. He's the pattern son, right? Now, so each one of those 4 places in verse 1, 5, 8, and 11, it says the. That's ha. That's the ball thinking in your mind, okay? A definite article of the devil. It says devil. It's not a monster. It's not a noun. It's an adjective. Let me show you here. Get this up here to have it. Now, this devil comes from this word.
Strong's G1228. Diabolos.
Diabolos. It's an adjective, okay? That diabolos occurs 38 times in 36 verses in the whole New Testament of the Bible. Okay? And that's in the TR Greek Concordance. Okay? It's 35 times is translated in the King James as devil, 2 times as false accuser, and 1 time as slanderer. Okay? In the Strong's exhaustive concordance of the Bible, it says that's a traducer, Traducer. That means one who maligns another by making malicious or false or defamatory statements. What does your carnal mind do? He's describing this carnal mind. It's defaming what God's doing in your life. In these storms busting up this hard fallow ground. Boom, boom, boom. This sucker's defaming, is falsely accusing. He's describing this thing is defaming maliciously. It's in direct opposition. Just like in Romans chapter 8, verse 7. We're saying the carnal mind is enmity. It's directly opposed to you going towards it into God. It says against there in the King James, but that's EIS. That's 2 towards it into. That's ice, pronounced ice. And it means 2 towards it into. This thing's exactly opposite to God taking you 2 towards it into his loving righteousness. It's telling you all kinds of monsters. He's a monster. He's going to throw you in hell and all that. Trying to make him out to be a villain. Revere God. This thing's trying to preach fear. This is revere God. Okay? Now, so this devil is not a noun, it's adjective describing that carnal mind. To be carnally minded is death, it's separating. Death is speaking of separation. It's representing separating you from God's way. Now, to that carnal mind, the ball of thinking, the carnal mind, that false accuser, that diabolos, that adjective is describing this critter. Jesus is describing it. He's calling out its number. In verse 10, it's calling him Satan, you adversary, you accuser, you false accuser. He's calling his number. Get down, lay down, dog. He's showing us how to take care of this thing right here. This false accusing sucker. Lay down, beat it. In other words, just beat it. Just beat it. Ow, get over here, you dog. Because this thing, let me show you something. This Diabolos, 1228, okay? Alright? It's a traducer, one who maligns another by making malicious or false or defamatory statements. It's an adjective. It's describing that false accusing carnal mind, not a monster outside you, not get out babyland. Baby, oh man, oh no, kill him. No, God didn't make some monster out there. It's about to take over and almost as strong as he is, and oh no, he needs your help. No, God's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and he's sovereign. He don't need our help. He's showing us, come back to me, my child. It's all right. Everything's exactly in control. All this rocking and socking and boom, 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 crashing in your land, in your mind, earthquaking in your mind and stuff is calamities and stuff is to bring you to the realization, giving you opportunity to agree with God and let God pull you out of that stuff. Not to let you go down the swirl of time. You believe that good and evil stuff. When you go out and like earn something, you teach your kids to go out and take out the garbage, do these little chores and stuff, and you get rewards for it. They don't become a self-entitled punk when they grow up. Thinking everything just, they don't have to do nothing to get anything. They can just do whatever they want, believe whatever they want, do whatever they want. I can just have it my way. You got to do it God's way, God's way, God's way to get that increase. You can't do it the good and evil way, and expect for God to turn on the lights of understanding in your mind. It don't work that way. Okay? Jesus in this temptation, these 11 verses here, is showing us the way, the truth, and the life to get rid of this carnal mind. Little by little by little. It's like being baptized by the Holy Spirit. Boom, 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 boom. When Jesus was water baptized, said the Spirit, they saw the Spirit descending like a dove, descending on him and remaining. He's going and doing it perfectly. Boom, boom, boom. He's not letting it slip at all. We're going to slip. But the thing is to keep hog tying. Get as much as you can. Right? Of God. Because all this good and evil stuff is not doing nothing. Right? Like in Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 6. You do all that stuff. All this mankind stuff. 666 thinking stuff. For 2,000 years, 1,000 years, twice told. Don't all go to one place. It's still, the only thing that's really getting anything is going back to God. All this stuff is just going down to back to the dust of the earth. Huh? Right? Don't all go to one place? Going back to God. Like Ecclesiastes 3:20, 6:6, and 12:7. Okay, now let's get this. In this diabolos, okay? It's the false accuser, this traducer, okay? Now that comes from the root word, coming from a verb, diabolo, this word.
Strong's G 1225. Diabolo.
Right.
Diabolo.
All right, that's the verb form of it. And that means, make sure I'm trying to highlight stuff. I got it here. It's to traduce, alright? That's basically the same, about the same thing. It's just a verb form of that. To be malicious, slandering God, anything that's saying, don't you dare believe, don't you bow the knee to God for nothing. You better believe my good and evil stuff. That's our own. It's slander. It's hostile towards God. It's hostility. By any means it tries to influence you. Your non-spiritual, your carnal mind is trying to take and keep you from going to God at all costs. You'll be a sissy, or you're too tough, you can do it this way, it's a good idea. It's an alternative way to God's way. Anything but go God's way. Just hog tie that stuff. Don't listen to that stuff. Listen to God. Be still, the old carnal mind, and know that I am God. Boom. Get up and demonstrate. Going to God. Okay? Now, to traduce, okay? That's the verb form. Now, it's to defame, to slander, to accuse, to falsely accuse, Now, this word coming on down to a root word, down farther in the etymology, come down to 906, which is balo. This is a devil. The definite article, the ball thinking in your mind, and all the way down. That traducer. That traduces, right? All the way down to this word, balo.
Strong's G 906. Balo.
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 That's a verb also, okay? And it also comes from through, dia, okay? That's through the channeling of an act. So it's either taking a channeling of an act, swirly time down into your own poop thinking, farther and farther and farther into its own way, believing that bull crap, or you're going to God. Which way you going? Like in this storm, she's busting up the hard fallow ground. Boom, in the eye of the storm, you got to make your mind up. Going this way or going this way. All right? Now, down in this primary word from devil, okay? Coming all the way down through, that's 1223, going down to balo, 906. It's a primary word, all the way down to the root, the base of it. Okay, it's a balo. And what that word means, to throw or let go of a thing not caring where it goes. It wants to let all this earthquaking and stuff, and God's meaning it for good. God causes all things to work together for good to them that love God, revere God. Read Romans chapter 8, verse 28 to the end of the chapter. If God be for you, who can be against you? Not this sucker. Yeah, hold tight that crap. Right? Just kind of briefly, okay? So whenever you're coming through this, go God's way. This thing is directly opposed. It's doing everything in its world. It's squirming. It's trying to. That's your carnal mind. That's not a monster outside you. That's not a little devil in a little way. This is all babies. That's all baby stuff. Come out of that stuff. Now, in this eye of the storm, you got to decide. And each time you decide for God, make a stand in spirit and in truth. No manipulating. No trying to hold back. Hot pursuit. Follow me. And Jesus told his disciples, his discipline was follow me. That's going on now. You want to be a disciple of God. You want to gain in God. Follow. Be in hot pursuit. Be emphatic. Be a fanatic. Be a fan of. The ball game doesn't really matter too much. There'll be a world champion in football, basketball, all this baseball. One year, next year it's another. Next year it's another. It doesn't say the same. It's transitory, temporary, and unsatisfactory. They're not world champions for all time. But in this, you're gaining permanent increases. Right on up. I'm coming on up. Right? This way it's going on down. I got you, my child. Bo, 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 bo. You're getting in the crap, man, deeper and deeper. Right? Yuck. Directly opposed. Traducer. That traduces, right? Diabolos. All right. Diabolos. Taking down to the traduce. It's a traducer. False accuser. Traducer. Maligning. Malicious. Taking it down deeper, down into the through, and it's in that ballo. It's trying to cast out God, not caring where it goes. Cast out opportunity. Make all these hardships profitable to you by agreeing with God. Don't just be proud. Say, man, this good and evil stuff over here is profitable. Temporary and unsatisfactory at best. Hog crap it is. Ew, yuck! Don't be a sow. An old sow returns to its own mire, right? That's in Proverbs. A sow returns to its own mire, basically to its own slop, right? Its own crap. Alright. Now, so that takes you on down there. That's telling that it's, when we send in Romans chapter 8, verse 7, the carnal mind, that's a non-spiritual way of thinking, is enmity against, that's ice. It's going towards it into God. And enmity is it's being hostile, giving reasons for opposition, traducing. That what Jesus is calling its number? You traducer. And then when it's getting down in verse 10 in this, Satan, where that's a noun. That's that Satanas. Satanas, Satanas, I think is the way this is pronouncing it. Okay? It's an adversary. This is an adversary to going God's way. It's your carnal mind. Your carnal mind, your stinking thinking, is the Satanas and the Diabolos. The adjective, and then when Jesus is calling out, you carnal thing, get out of here. Put a sock in them and know that I am God. Have a good day. Please hit like, subscribe. Let me know if these are helping you and if it's confusing. And if God gives me the go ahead and the ability, I'll bring out stuff easier maybe for you. Okay? But he woke me up again. I tried to lay back down listening to a book and hey, get up. But just like I was told before, not everybody wants to study and all that stuff like you do. But you know what? The question I have, Aren't you glad that God put me through Coleman and all these things, all these really, really hard stuff, and put this on me and told me, you're going to do this whether you're kicking, screaming, whatever, he's going to do it through you. Aren't you glad somebody's doing that and bringing it out? Have a great day. Know that God loves you. This devil thing out here is not right. Devil it's a monster. Laugh at it. The carnal mind in each and every one of us is our adversary. Is the false accuser. Is that producer. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.